Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. I'm Stephanie Fisher. I'm a licensed counselor here in the state of Michigan, and I'm owner and operator of In Progress Counseling. One of the things we've been talking about over the last weeks and really years is that maturing process. So there's a maturing process that happens over time as we enter new spaces, become more comfortable in those spaces, go through some growth and make strides. But one of the pieces that is probably not emphasized enough is our self-talk during that process. Because if you think through being a beginner versus being a little bit more advanced versus being an expert, the self-talk inside should line up with what's happening. And I've used this phrase before. M. Scott Peck talks about true mental health is a commitment to reality at all costs. So when I'm a beginner, I'm able to say like, hey, look, I'm a beginner. I'm gonna do my best here. I'm going to approach things as I understand them. And because I'm a beginner, there's gonna be things I just don't know. It happens in any process, right? And well, that's my point of view. It happens in almost every process that we decide we want to be engaging and become better at over time. As we become more experienced, it's important that I update my inner dialogue to talk about like, hey, you're getting some of these things. This is making sense. Okay. Sure, you don't know all the things, but look at you go. And as we become more advanced and more expert, being able to say like, hey, I've spent a lot of time and committed effort in this area. Of course, I'm getting better at it. Now, none of that is I'm the best. Look at how great I am. Oh, I'm so awesome. And that's one of the things, especially as I walk in a lot of faith communities, there are so many people who are like, hey, I don't want to say I'm good at things because that's pride. It's like, well, is it? If I'm using my giftings in their proper scope for the good of others and in a way that is intentional and methodical and in a way that best images what's been put in me, I'm not sure I'm supposed to talk pejoratively or negatively about that. I don't think I have the right to have this false humility of like, oh man, I'm good at nothing. It's like, well, no, through time and committed effort and gaining expertise, I have in fact gained competence. I do in fact have more confidence. Not that I'm the best at all the things, but I've put in time and effort to become good at the things that I'm good at. It's important to update the inner dialogue as we go. I remember very clearly, my inner dialogue was atrocious, and thankfully I've had good mentors, good therapists, and really wise people speak into my life in really helpful ways. And I remember a few years ago, I was talking to, at the time, my therapist, and I was talking about a presentation I had given, and I was really condescending towards myself. And he said, Stephanie, when you think about it, who else in the room would have had that point of view? I was like, well, I don't know, right? My fear says everyone. Everyone thinks I'm incompetent and incapable and not good. And he said, I was in that room too, and I don't remember anyone else having those types of conversations, those types of sentiments towards you. He said, I remember people listening. I remember that people were engaged. I remember that you were thoughtful in your presentation. And then he would do these long pauses and just look at me, and he said something to the effect of a few moments later, he said, yeah, at some point you're going to have to work on that dialogue because that's coming from you. That's not coming from outside of you. No one else is seeing you that way, Steph. That was important for me to hear. He was saying, update your scripts, update your scripts. You've put in time, you've put in effort. It's time to update your scripts. And that's part of how I approach especially counselors in training when I'm spending time with them. As we go, those first couple weeks, it's like, yes, you have all of the anxiety that makes sense. But by times we get to week 7 or 8 where you have these little muscles developed, we update the scripts. And when you get to the end of practicum, we update the scripts. And as you're partway through internship, we update it again because we know that time and consistent effort over the long span with practice and repetition, it gives us competence, and we can have confidence in that.